Hi friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we are going to have a discussion on few more aspects of the human personality. Today we will try to understand that which all are the signs on the palm which indicate towards that this person is eternal optimistic. You know, all those people whose personality emanates the signs of optimism. No matter how much darkness of the clouds have clouded this person, but he still sees the silver lining even in the middle of all these dark clouds. So we are going to have our discussion on this particular aspect only. So let's say, for example, if you are on a lookout for a partner for you, or you are an HR, you have to do the hiring on the daily basis. So these kind of tricks are going to give you good shortcuts to assess the personality in a very short span of time. So the very first thing, guys, as you know my style, I always begin my analysis with the shape and structure of the hand first. So out of all the shapes of the hand which can be found, like there are obviously 4 types of hand on the basis of the elements: air shape of hand, earth shape of hand, fire shape of hand, and the water shape of hand. So for this particular aspect, you need to give emphasis whether the person has a fire shape of hand or not. Now, what is the eligibility of a hand to be called as fire shape of hand? So that's very simple. If any point of time you will find the shape of the palm to be of rectangular shape, along with that, on that particular palm, you will find the length of the fingers to be shorter in length. So how to determine that? That's very simple. You need to compare the broadness of the palm with the length of the middle finger. So let's say, for example, if the broadness of the palm turns out to be 3 centimeter, just a hypothetical example, and the length of the middle finger turns out to be 2 centimeters. So then you can say in this particular palm, the length of the fingers are short. So fulfilling this eligibility, a rectangular shape of palm and short fingers is going to make that hand of a fire shape, which just tells about that this person is filled with physical and emotional energy. He is like very resilient. He knows how to bounce back even in the face of any kind of adversity. So now that's the first thing which we get to know. That's the first checkpoint which I have provided to you. The second case is that you need to see the fingertips, like the way I've always explained this thing in the whole of my playlist, that if our our finger represents and they releases the energy. Now the index finger releases the energy of the planet Jupiter. It releases the energy of the optimism, of the leadership qualities. The middle finger, it just because it gets associated with the planet Saturn. So this finger releases the energy of the discipline, being mature, being visionary. But important is that the way you will find how the tips of the fingers are. This is going to tell that how this energy is getting manifested. What I'm trying to say is that if Apollo finger can make you a good artist, now important is that how you're going to express your artistic talents, whether you are more driven for the money or whether you are more driven for creating the best work, magnum opus work. So this is what we get to know from the shape of the fingertips. So for someone to be categorized as an optimistic, you will definitely find that that particular person will have spatulate fingertips. Now spatulate just tells about it fills someone with lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm, and the person tend to remain very a go-getter who knows how to come out of any kind of miserable state and smile on the face of any adversity. So that you get to know from the spatulate shape of the fingertip, which just fills someone with lots of energy. Now you also need to give emphasis to the base of the fingers. Now in the hands of all those people who tend to remain very optimistic, you will definitely find that there will be natural gap between the base of the fingers. Along with that, additional point will be if you will find a wider angle between the index finger and the thumb. So this wider angle just also tells about the more generosity in someone's nature. Now guys, along with that, you also need to give emphasis to the one of the sprint pattern which is known as the dented arch fingerprint, because if you will find in any of the out of all the 10 fingers, if you will find in 2 or 3 like on the tip of the fingers, you will find the print pattern to be of dented arch. So this also just tells about that the person will tend to remain enthusiastic. You can watch in my playlist. I have already made separate videos on all the dermatographics, on the different kind of fingerprint patterns which get spotted on the tip of the fingers, and what kind of nature do they indicate towards. So you can watch that. But just for this particular topic, I just wanted to tell you, along with the finger tip shape, which has to be spatulate, if you will find in 2 or 3 fingers the tented arch fingerprint pattern, so this is also going to hint towards person being optimistic. Now guys, over and above that, now you also need to give emphasis to the condition and the quality of the index finger. Like the way I was telling you, that index finger chiefly tells about how optimistic you are, your leadership qualities, your ambition, we get to know from the index finger. So any point of time you will find the index finger to be long, well shaped. So this is just going to give this hint that yes, the person has high dreams and he knows how to come out of any of the miserable state. And added advantage will be that if along with that you will also find the mount of the Jupiter to be in a prominent state, because let's say for example, if the index finger takes lot of the weightage, there always remain to be this fear that person might become egoistic as well. So in order to negate all those fears, you need to give emphasis whether the mount of Saturn is also prominent in the palm or not. Because if index finger is and the mount of Jupiter carries the domain of optimism, of your ambition, of your dreams, along with that the mount of Saturn and the finger of Saturn just represents the sense of reality. So if there will be an equally developed area in between the mount of Jupiter and the mount of Saturn, you will find little bit puffiness in between these two mounts. So this is going to give this hint that the person, no matter how high he would try to fly, he will have his feet firm on the ground. So this is also I wanted to give you as one of the additional keywords to search around, probe around, while looking from the perspective of seeing whether someone is optimistic or not. Now guys, the last 2 things which I want to say here is that if any point of time you will find the loop of humor in the person's palm. Now loop of humor gets spotted in between the Apollo and the mount of Mercury. So this is the area where you will find the loop of humor. We just give this hint that the person has a very extrovert nature, person is very has got a very cheerful disposition, he has got good sense of humor, and he knows and he's very creative enough to come out of and give himself positive approach and positive attitude to come out of any kind of adverse state. And the last is guys, you need to see, and if you will any point of time find the line of Apollo in person's palm, because line of Apollo is seen as a line of extrovertness. It's a line which imbibes and attracts all kind of good luck. So along with that, all the signs which I have explained, if you have found the line of Apollo or the sun line on person's palm, and let's say for example the more brownie points the person will get if you will also find a star symbol on the mount of Apollo. So all these things combined together is going to give this hint that this person can be a very good employee, can be a very good partner, because he's not among those who is going to sulk deep in the face of any kind of negativity. He's among those who is going to come out and fly with shining colors. So guys, this is all what I wanted to say as my take on this concept of human personality being seen from the science of palmistry. I hope you guys found this video informational. For further more updates and notification on the science of palmistry, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.
चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवो